What's good, y'all? It's your boy Third Degree. We're back with more Ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go.
It's good, y'all. Let's get into it. Tupac Shakur's estate is preparing to take action against AI video creators, as they should, because these videos are getting creepy. All right, moving on. Freddie Gibbs retweeted a picture of Ayesha Curry, Jada Pinkett, Michelle Obama, and I think that's Remy Ma talking about Mount Ungrateful. Quote, "Be when to marry you, use up your money, then go on a podcast unhappy." I don't know about Michelle Obama, you know what I mean? But yeah, for the other ones, hey, maybe. Do we got a point? All right, moving on. Shout out to Las Vegas Aces winning their third championship. Shout out, big ups to them and Asia Wilson. All right, moving on. Rolling Stone predicts Kendrick Lamar and says Luther will win Record of the Year at his Grammys, at this year's Grammys. We will see, right? All right, moving on. Shout out to Angela Bassett. She won her first Emmy Award after a four-decade career. So shout out to her. All right, moving on. Lexus on Honey on Check Stephen A. Smith live on ESPN over Serena Williams Super Bowl comments, and he had him stuttering. And he written out there and really checked that dude. So shout out to Alexis for that and for sticking up for Serena. CPT, stand up. Moving on. Have a effing heart attack. Joe Rogan on Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. Man, no, we don't want that to happen, Joe. Because if not, then his homeboy JD Vance, he's just as dumb. So no, but I understand. Moving on. MTV to shut down music channels as Paramount restructures global network. Sad, end of an era, right? I mean, my favorite was MTV Jams, you know what I'm saying? So to think that a music television, which is what it's called, MTV, will no longer show music is kind of crazy. But hey, moving on. Shout out to the new Mobb Deep album, Infinite. They're saying this album of the year to be up for convo, right? What y'all think? Moving on. Tommy Lee photo of giving ex-boyfriend Ian Connor sloppy top leaks. And man, she is a certified freak. I knew she was. But it's crazy what these folks are doing for attention, right? Moving on. Well, going back to Stephen A. Coon, you get loud and be in your feelings about LeBron and a black billionaire, but when you talk to a white billionaire, you humble. By Stephen A. Jackson. He's right. Nobody likes Stephen A. Smith at this point, right? So shout out to Stephen Jackson for that one. Moving on. 5 years after Kobe's passing, his 22-year-old daughter, Natalia, becomes the Lakers creative director. Hey, shout out to her. All right, moving on. This week, we're honoring George Floyd, what would have been his birthday. Happy heavenly birthday. Moving on. A man snuck into Glorilla's dressing room and ate her food while she was performing. That dude needs to tell kid, you don't be playing about nobody's food. What's wrong with you? And Glorilla eat chicken, watermelon. Oh, man. But them chicken wings look fire, though. You know what I mean? Moving on. It's being reported LA County CEO gets a confidential $2 million settlement, takes month-long leave. Shout out to her. Moving on. Home Depot now providing free certification courses in HVAC, carpentry, electrical, and construction trades. Shout out to them. Moving on. Derek Jackson reportedly recently did a live crying that his current girlfriend, who he divorced his wife for, allegedly got pregnant by another man. What goes around comes around, you stupid funk. All right, moving on. It's being reported allegedly, I don't need her and her barbs coming at me, but Nicki Minaj's $20 million LA home at risk of being seized over massive debt owed. Maybe that's why she's been crashing out lately. I don't know, allegedly, right? Moving on. Woman faces 10 years in prison for selling food stamp bought baked goods. Man, she a hustler, right? Crazy. But 10 years? Come on, man. All right, moving on. We're going back to Nicki, though. Nicki Minaj sparks backlash after praising Donald Trump. Moving on. Nia Long and Lorenz Tate to reunite in Netflix romantic drama inspired by Maxwell's Urban Hangout Suite album. Interesting. Can't wait. All right, moving on. The way that this dude is eating this hot dog, this dude is a freaky boy. Ain't no way if you a straight ass man, you eating a hot dog like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get a knife and fork. I don't care how prissy you make me look, but that's just me. Moving on. Charlie Sheen says sleeping with men puts him in the same league as Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando. Yes, buddy, please stay off the crack or go get help for that past crack addiction. Moving on. It's being reported that Michael Jackson's biopic expected to earn at least $1 billion at the box office. I mean, of course, it's MJ, right? All right, moving on. Tammy Roman sparks outrage over refusing to let Dodgers girlfriend attend graduation. Man, sad. Praying for them. Moving on. Obama says Republicans have created a false narrative that white males are victims. Talk your ish. All right, moving on. Outkast will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on November 8, 2025, and I will be there spiritually. I'll be watching on TV somewhere. All right, moving on. Jake Harrell pleads guilty in Riverside Court for the unaliving of his baby son Emmanuel, and hope he rots, man. He's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Moving on. Protein powder shakes contain high lead levels, endless amounts, so be careful out there. Moving on. It's funny how we were just talking about this on Black Native Americans, but we will circle back with this, I promise you. Moving on. NBC News scrapped all of its diversity programming, eliminating the NBC Black, NBC Latino, NBC Asian American, and LGBTQ teams. Crazy. Moving on. Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, let's go. Last Friday, let's make it happen, Chris. Stop making excuses. Let's get it done, all right? Moving on. Snoop Dogg partners with GLAAD and queer singer Jeremy Belote, whatever his name is, to support LGBTQ plus youth following previous comments about queer relationships in movies. And wait, there's more. Snoop Dogg says now gay couples and kids shows is okay, and he will put some in his own series, Doggyland. Crazy. We will talk about this at a later date. Moving on. Sweetie claps back. Rapper lawyered up after ex-associate claims she's an escort and didn't get paid by Jodon Sancho. Crazy. Moving on. Brian McKnight ethers his ex-wife after winning $8.8 million defamation case and declares war on everyone who helped her spread lies, while his son calls him out. So we'll keep you tuned in with that. So moving on. Prince Andrew to give up royal title after Epstein ties. Good for him. Moving on. Candace Owens denied entry into Australia after failing to meet country's character requirements. I wish we can do the same. Moving on. Well, she's already kicked out of the black community because of her character requirements. So, you know, hey, she cooning. You know what I mean? Moving on. Shout out to Angel Reese making history, becoming the first pro athlete to walk in the Victoria's Secret's fashion show. And she did her thing and she killed it. I don't understand why people are hating on her, but we salute and elevate over here. So do your thing, Queen. Moving on. AI company OpenAI has stopped allowing creation of Martin Luther King Jr. AI generated videos, as they should. Moving on. Judge orders Diddy to hand over freak-off recordings and electronic devices to the feds. I wonder what they're going to do with that. Moving on. Jennifer Lopez says she doesn't think she has ever been truly loved. It's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable. But after like 5 to 6 husbands, it might be you. Moving on. Last but not least, Army legend D'Angelo dies at 51 after a private battle with pancreatic cancer. So, man, we're going to talk about that tonight and his impact. So, RIP to him. And let's go ahead and start the show.
Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show.